Welcome back to part 2 of the pretrial hearing for sovereign citizen Jonathan Schuster, who is facing charges of DUI and driving on a suspended license in Lake Forest Park, Washington. At the end of part 1, Mr. Schuster was meeting with the prosecutor in a breakout room to negotiate a resolution for his violations. Watch until the end to see the effect Mr. Schuster has on the judge.
We're just waiting for Madam Clerk to come back.
Hey, Judge, can you hear me?
I can, Mr. Schuster.
So 9 a.m. the 11th, is that what it is?
We're not on the record and we don't have a clerk yet, so.
Oh, okay. If we're not on the record, I guess I could ask this. Are you going to be there on the 11th, or is your higher judge or higher up going to be the one who's there?
Should be Judge Grant.
Oh, okay. I was expecting to see her today. That's too bad. You said we're just waiting for the clerk?
We are. We're not on the record.
Oh, okay, cool.
Schuster is back. So we're back on the record with Jonathan Schuster for A0525748. Mr. Schuster had an opportunity to speak with Ms. McDonald in the breakout room. And Ms. McDonald, where are we?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm a little bit concerned because it didn't appear that Mr. Schuster was, and I was kind of having a hard time discerning whether or not it was a willingness or an ability to track the conversation.
Oh, objection. I definitely have the ability to have a conversation and track what's going on. I offered her a counter and she didn't want to take it. And so that's where we are, ma'am.
So I do have some concerns there. Also, Your Honor, I did just pull up his criminal history. It appears that he does have an active warrant out for his arrest for a DUI.
Active warrant?
SMC bench warrant from 2/14/25.
Yes, that is the one. So I have a couple of concerns. The concern is the defendant is saying he doesn't have discovery. He has not read the reports. I asked him several times if he was prepared to proceed to trial on all 3 charges next week.
And I told her 9 o'clock on the 11th, I will be there.
So
Mr. Schuster, that you're intending to go to trial without.
Right. And you're saying there's an open warrant? Is that King County? Is that who that's with?
So, Mr. Schuster, the Seattle Municipal Court issued a bench warrant for $5,000 on February 14th, 2025.
Okay. And so I'll need to obviously reach out to them so that we can get that quashed and taken care of.
That is true. You will need to do that.
Which I will do as soon as we're done here.
My expectation, if we're having another hearing next week, is that you will have done that before the next hearing.
Oh, 100%. No need to be walking around with warrants. That is unacceptable.
So, Ms. McDonald, are you raising 1077?
well, I would ask that the court engage in a colloquy because I like I said, I was having a difficult time assessing that because I don't know if it's an inability to track
Objection. Objection.
appropriately or if it's unwillingness.
So Ms. McDonald is asking that I ask you some questions to make sure you're able to proceed.
Objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Schuster, there's
I've
nothing
told,
to object
it's been
to.
on the record. I'm ready for whatever we need to do on the 11th outside of quashing this warrant that I just recently found out, as you've said it. I didn't even know that was a thing. So now I have to just take care of that. The 11th, I will be there at 9 a.m.
So, Mr.
I'll-
Schuster, I'm going to ask you some questions. First and foremost, do you know what happens at a trial?
Do I know what happens at a trial? Yes.
Can you describe that to me?
What happens at a trial where we meet and go over the facts and determine whether or not that I will be charged with the allegations against me.
So who decides whether you're guilty of the allegations against you?
Well, of course, it's a trial jury.
So who's on a jury?
Well, my people. I mean, it's the people of, it's the people. Obviously, it's a jury trial.
Do you know the difference between a bench trial and a jury trial?
Yes.
What's the difference?
One, there's people who make the decision, and one, the bench makes the decision.
And who's the bench?
Well, I believe I'm speaking with her currently.
So the judge is the bench.
The magistrate.
What are you charged with right now?
You want me to like say it off my memory or read the actual
Tell me.
charges from the? Because I have my paper. I can go get it real quick so I can
I
read
don't
it.
need you to read it to me. I need you to tell me to the best of your ability what you're
Oh,
charged.
okay, yeah. You're charging me with, or the allegations are driving with a license suspended, 3rd degree, no interlock device, failure to comply. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yes.
You know what the maximum penalty for each of those charges is?
Not off the top of my head. No way. I'd have to look at my notes.
Do you understand that DWS 3rd degree is a misdemeanor punishable by 90 days in jail and $1,000 fine?
I understand the allegations against me, correct?
And that there's also a gross misdemeanor punishable by up to 364 days in jail and a $5,000 fine?
I do understand the allegations against me.
What would the city have to prove if you went to trial?
That the allegations are true. They'd have to have an injured party show that the allegations are true. And of course, they'd be able to present their beliefs over to the jury, and the jury decides. I'm not sure what we're doing here. I mean,
Asking you questions about the trial process to make sure that you understand the trial process.
well, I have the right to present myself in court, and that's what I'd like to do.
Ms. McDonald, I'm not getting enough to raise 1077 at this point. I do understand your concerns.
Right.
I have concerns over Prosecutor McDonald and her ability to understand what's going on, but that's okay. I'm not going to raise any challenges or anything against that.
You
I
don't,
just want that noted. But regardless, I did give her a counter offer, which was very reasonable. She declined, and so the next step would be, for this court would be the 11th at 9 a.m. Is that correct? Is that the right time?
that's correct. Ms. McDonald, do you have the ability to send over the electronic discovery to the courthouse for Mr. Schuster to pick up?
So we would have to, so the electronic discovery, we have the body worn camera and all of that information that had to be burned onto CDs and sent to him because it's too large to send.
You said
via
CDs?
email. So that was all sent out to his address. We would have to
You
redo
said
all
with
of
CDs, you said?
Yes.
Some of the body worn cameras on CDs because it's too large to send any other way, Mr. Schuster.
You still use CDs. Is that what that is wild.
Well, you are held to the same standard as attorneys, and attorneys are expected to.
I'm just
That way.
surprised that you still use CDs.
Is there anyone that your office could, ABC legal or something like that, that your office could get that over here quicker than the US mail?
Well, we would certainly be able to bring it to our office. Isn't that far from the courthouse, so it's not a difficulty in the transportation. It's just it would take my office probably the better part of the afternoon or tomorrow morning to get all of those burned to another set of CDs, because there are several.
So if I ordered that, your office bring a set of discovery here, for Mr. Schuster to pick up, after 10 a.m. on Friday, would that be doable?
I would think so.
Okay, so Mr. Schuster, I'm going to have Ms. McDonald's office make you another copy of the discovery, burn the electronic medium onto CDs, and it's going to be available for you here at the court window after 10 a.m. on Friday. That is going to be the only additional discovery that you get. You need to find a way without driving, to get here or get someone here to pick that up for you. That will be the only additional copy of the discovery for you. Will be here at the courthouse for you to retrieve. The courthouse is closed on Saturdays and Sundays. So if you want to prepare for your trial, I recommend that you come Friday after 10 a.m. to do so.
And I'm wondering if we can just pass this for a moment so that Mr. Schuster, I would ask that he read the plea form through in its entirety, because I think that does impart some of the things that he needs to take into consideration, which I don't think that he's necessarily considered, while we take the plea on the Partida Garcia matter.
I'm ready to proceed to trial on the 11th. Outside of quashing the warrant with, you said it was Seattle Municipal or King County?
Seattle Municipal Court.
Seattle Municipal. Outside of quashing that warrant, I am ready. I do have one question though. This is a criminal matter, so who was the injured party exactly?
The city of Lake Forest Park has filed
City
charges.
of Lake Forest Park. Okay, and they'll be present at the trial. I'll be able to face them.
They are represented by Ms. McDonald's office.
So the city is the plaintiff as well as the judge. Is that what you're saying?
The city is not the judge.
Lake Forest Park is not the magistrate for this matter?
Lake Forest Park is the municipality in which this court takes place. Judge Grant will likely be here next week. She is the judge. She does not represent the city. The city is represented by Ms. McDonald's office.
So the judge doesn't work for the city at all, is what you're saying?
She is a neutral arbiter of matters. She is not representing the city.
So she doesn't work for the city?
No, she works for the courts and the court system.
Ah, okay. And
So,
during trial, the prosecution will be able to bring the injured party forward, correct?
During trial, the prosecutor will be afforded the opportunity to bring forth its witnesses. I suspect that will be.
No, I'm saying the injured party.
I'm talking Mr. Schuster. Okay.
Oh, I hear you. I just wanted to make sure it
The
was clear what I
prosecutor
said.
has the ability to bring forward its witnesses. They have the right to cross-examine any witnesses that you bring forward. You are allowed to bring forward witnesses at no expense to you. You do have to comply with the court rules in terms of giving Ms. McDonald notice of any witnesses that you intend to call. So you can't show up on the day of trial having not notified her of potential witnesses and suddenly this is on her.
Okay, I guess I wasn't clear when I asked you, because I wasn't asking about witnesses. I was asking about the injured party.
There doesn't have to be a named injured party. The allegation.
Well, I have the right to face
you have the right to
face the injured party who's making these allegations against me.
You have the right to present a case.
She'll be able to
Mr. Schuster, stop. You have the right to present a case on your own behalf. You have the right to hear and call witnesses at no expense to you. You have the right to question the city's witnesses. Okay, you have the right to cross-examine their witnesses, but
I also have the
there
right
does
to
not
face
have to
somebody
be a
who's
per se
alleging.
injured party, which is what you're getting
Well,
at.
I mean, in a criminal matter, there definitely needs to be an injured party.
Your Honor,
Well,
perhaps we could take the plea and get the interpreter out of here, because I think Mr. Schuster's might take a little bit longer.
Oh, I mean,
We're gonna pass on Mr. Schuster's matter and take
I'm
in.
done. So,
That's
I mean,
right.
is there
You're not done, Mr. Schuster. You're gonna stay on
Oh,
the line. We're gonna take this plea so that we can get Mr. Interpreter out of here. And then we'll
oh, okay. You wanted to talk with the other one. Okay, yeah, I can wait for them to finish so that we can
Great.
finish this up.
let's do that. This is Jose.
Thank you for that, Your Honor.
Yes. You ready to go back on the record on Mr. Schuster's case?
I think so.
So this again is Jonathan Schuster, 4A0525748.
Yes, I am here.
So when we last left off, we were, I believe, setting this for trial next week.
Yeah. I did want to clarify some things from earlier, if that's okay with you, ma'am.
Okay,
Because you had denied both of the motions, and I just want to make sure I understand correctly why they were denied. So would you be able to repeat that, please?
so again, as I stated before, your motion to dismiss is based on an allegation that this court does not have jurisdiction over driving offenses based on the right to travel articulated under the federal and state constitutions. The federal and state constitutions do not limit the states and municipalities' rights to impose traffic laws or driving requirements such as driving licenses and things like that. So there's no federal preemption of these laws. They are appropriately codified and appropriately enforced in the city of Lake Forest Park. So there is subject matter jurisdiction that this court has based on the fact that these offenses are alleged to have occurred in the city of Lake Forest Park. There's subject matter jurisdiction because this court is authorized by statute to function and to enforce these laws. And so for those reasons, your motion to dismiss is denied.
Okay. And so essentially, it's because they don't limit the state municipalities' ability to impose driving statutes. Is that correct?
Yes, you've cited the right to travel broadly articulated in the federal constitution. But nothing about that is contradictory to Washington's right to impose driving licensing requirements. And nothing about that federal constitutional law prohibits the city of Lake Forest Park from enforcing traffic regulations.
Okay. So it was denied because they do not limit the state's municipalities' ability to impose driving regulations.
So this court does have subject matter jurisdiction. We will be going forward unless you want to enter a guilty plea today with a trial next week. Is this going to be a bench or a jury trial?
Oh, a jury trial, for sure.
What's that? Okay. So we will set this for a jury trial next week. Again, Mr. Schuster, discovery will be available to you at the counter at the courthouse after 10 a.m. on Friday. It is the court's expectation that if you want to review that prior to trial, that you come down here and pick it up. There's not going to be a third mailing of discovery to a new address. The court's not going to entertain next week any kind of arguments for continuances based on you not coming down here or having someone come down here and pick that up. Ms.
Okay.
McDonald's not going to keep mailing things to different places.
Would the court
Okay.
Setting an intervening pretrial for Monday as well.
We can certainly do that. We can set a pretrial hearing for Monday.
I won't be able to attend on Monday. Tuesday would be the soonest I'd be able to make it to court.
I would ask for Monday, and I would ask that it be in person, Your Honor,
Um,
so that we can make sure that he's had the opportunity to review the discovery, and we can have those assurances prior to calling in a jury.
I am gonna require you to be in court on Monday morning, Mr. Schuster, 9 a.m. in person.
I don't have the ability to make it on Monday, ma'am.
Why is that?
Well, first, I do have other obligations with work. Outside of that, I had set up transportation to make it up there because, as you both know, I don't drive. And so I had set up transportation for Tuesday specifically to make sure I'd be able to attend that. And so I have no problem attending on Tuesday. I just don't have the ability to physically get there on Monday. Outside, I mean, plus I have to work. Obviously, work isn't the main thing, but I just physically don't have the ability to make it there on Monday.
Well, then we'll set this for Tuesday. Is the court's expectation that you're gonna come pick up the discovery? We're not gonna entertain continuance motions based on not picking up the discovery.
Of course, of course.
Well, Your Honor, and the other reason that I'm asking that we set it for Monday and that he be required to come is we also have the Goodland matter that we are still anticipating will be set for trial that week as well. And by then we're going to have a lot more information. And I do want to ensure before we walk through the door on Tuesday morning to start trial that Mr. Schuster is prepared.
Ma'am, I am 100. I'm ready outside of the warrant that was brought to my attention today. But during the recess, I actually had a chance to fill out the forms on the Seattle Municipal Court site. So
I'm more concerned about the discovery and the body worn camera footage and
since prior to the recess, I am 100% ready for Tuesday at 9 a.m.
My concern, Ms. McDonald, is, to his point, if he doesn't have transportation, I'm not gonna ask him to drive here.
then at the very least, do one via Zoom. I'd prefer it to be in person, but I do think that we need to have that.
If you need me here on Zoom, I can definitely do Zoom. That's okay with me. I just physically can't be there on Monday.
Okay. Then that's what we'll do. We'll set a pretrial hearing for Monday. You are authorized to appear on Zoom on Monday, but on Tuesday you are ordered to appear in person.
Okay, and so this went from a readiness back to a pretrial, correct? And then Tuesday we go to trial?
Yes. So today was the readiness hearing. We're gonna set a pretrial on Monday, and on Tuesday will be trial.
Okay. Okay. And then other than that, did you have anything else for me?
Anything else you need to address today, Ms. McDonald?
No, Your Honor, I was just double checking my officers. I think we're good on availability. So
You said what now? Your offices were good on availability?
my officers, the witnesses that are going to testify.
Oh, gotcha. It was Carlsbad, I think, or something like that. Either way.
They're all listed in the report.
Gotcha.
And again, Mr. Schuster, the conditions of release in the meantime are that you make all of your court appearances, notify the court of any address changes within 24 hours, no criminal law violations, no driving without a license and insurance. I do expect you to address that Seattle Municipal Court warrant. I'm not sure if they'll be able to clear it by next week, but at the very least, there should be a docket entry indicating that you've set up a hearing to do so. And all other previously imposed conditions remain.
Are you familiar with Seattle Municipal at all, ma'am?
Yes, I am.
Because when I went to the website regarding warrants, there was a form for motions to quash warrants.
Mhm.
Do you know anything about that?
I know that some warrants can be quashed administratively and some warrants you have to show up in person.
Well,
So
just in terms of the process and how to make sure it's handled correctly. Because when I was on the site, essentially what I was getting, I just filled out the form and then submitted it, and then it sent me an email telling me that I would need to wait for contact. Does that sound correct to what you know?
the court normally will contact you to tell you if they can administratively quash the warrant or if they need to set a hearing. However, given the quick turnaround, I recommend you call them tomorrow and talk to someone at the clerk's office in person.
Oh, that's good advice. Thank you.
Okay?
Okay. Well, there's nothing else on my end. Was there anything with you two?
Don't believe there's anything else today.
Okay, so Monday 9 a.m. Correct?
Monday, 9 a.m. Zoom is okay. Tuesday, 9 a.m. in person.
All right. I shall see you Monday. Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye now.
So returning to Mr. Goodwin, 4A0643733. What else we got here? 4A0845409 and 4A0485404. It's my understanding that Ms. Ebert is not going to be available tomorrow morning to address this. Linwood had said the earliest they could do it was 9:45 a.m. tomorrow. Any updates from Linwood?
Same time on Friday.
They're available at the same time on Friday, but I don't think that's going to work for Ms. Ebert.
I can do, Mr. Harmel says I can step out and do this on Friday.
The other option is I do think under the Krilge 3.3, this is a failure to appear and I could reset Speedy from today. I do think I have the legal ability to do that. So I'm not going to, obviously, most courts don't just say, okay, we'll hold a hearing whenever it's convenient for everyone. If court's not in session, court's not in session, and a defendant needs to wait until court's in session again. I am willing to appear and handle this on Friday. How is it looking for you, Ms. McDonald?
We will make sure that someone from our office is there for that.
And Ms. Ebert, can you get up to see Mr. Goodwin before then?
Yes, Your Honor. I will certainly try.
Then
Friday, 9:45.
Friday,
Thank you for watching.
9:45.
Please subscribe and leave a comment.
It's a date. If Mr. Goodwin fails, and you can explain this to Mr. Goodwin, if he refuses court again, and doesn't give you explicit instructions to set his case for hearing, then I will find that Speedy has restarted under 3.3.
Sounds good.
And actually I will find a failure to appear and I will restart Speedy when he shows up. Okay.
All right.
Ms. Ebert's gonna go tell everyone at her office I'm mean. Ms.
No.
McDonald's gonna tell everyone she knows that I held her till 10 o'clock her local time.
That's all right.
No, I don't know. I don't know what time it is.
On that note, Sarah Roberts for the city, I just realized it's Miss McDonald's birthday.
No. Wait, do we want to make sure this isn't on YouTube before we have any further discussion?
I'm so sorry, Miss McDonald.